Hello. Sir.
Yeah. So basically, now PhonePe is not as insecure as it used to be earlier, right? And
PhonePe is always
number
secure.
secondly, what I am saying that if the government of India decides, there are the three components which we have to do for ensuring cyber crime free Bharat, right? Number one, we have to simply ensure that static data should जो है captured and should flow along with the things. That is your name, your mobile number, and things like that. Those details, right? And second, there is something called volatile data. That is the IP address, MAC address, and other things that should also be captured, and that should go in a table. And that table would be allotting a code. It may be a QR code or otherwise. Which,
1 minute, sir. 1 minute. Can you repeat just now what you said?
Basically, we have to compile data. So, the protocol call related, the problem which we are having at the moment, because that is also being resolved by designing protocol code, I think 5 or 6 now, right? That kind of the attempt is already underway by the government of India, right? That protocol will ensure that these kind of the data which earlier were not captured, they should be captured and they should be available, right? So protocol is one way to address cyber insecurity. And secondly, say you cannot enter into cyberspace unless you are given access through some telecom service provider, right? That telecom service provider will be having the two set of the data. One is the live data, which is volatile data, which generally they are not storing, right? Now, that volatile data can be captured and can be stored. It is not really a very big issue. So, there will be two set of the data. That is the static data, which is coming from the telecom service provider. And second set of data is the volatile data, which can also be used for even identifying your exact location also. Now, telecom service provider, they have already, because it was mandated some 6-7 years before. So, now I think all telecom service provider, they are providing now the location-based service. So, it means we can get that location-based service also ingrained in the same profile, so that separate attempts need not to be there. It means a file is storing details for the each packet, that is the static details. Second is the volatile details. Third, the location specific details, right? Now, these details can be converted into a dynamic code, a code which is stored, right? This code will sit on the packet of communication, right? It means we can identify the each packet coming from which source, including IP address, MAC address, and other things, right? It means that identity of the person is not an issue, right? Now, let's see that there are few countries which are involved in this kind of the business, and they do the masking, right? It means that this data will be masked and some other data will be available and will be shown, which may be untrue data, right? Now, these countries and these people, those who are getting involved in this, they can be blocked very easily, right? So, they themselves, unless they comply with our things, they would not be having access to our cyberspace. Because our cyberspace will be denying access to them. Right? So, they would not be in position to enter into our cyberspace, right? Now, thirdly, one gimmick is being played. Majority of the servers, they are located in USA and other places and even China also. And their federal law, their law is applicable on them. Making sense to you?
Yes, sir.
So, that federal, so we can compel all these companies to have the server in India, and it is very easy to be done by just modifying our agreement condition or contract condition which they have signed with us. Right? Anybody who is not willing to comply with our direction, may be allowed to leave our cyberspace, right? Since India is a very, very big market, no company in world can afford to miss India. Now, it is not the America, it is the land of opportunity. Okay. So now we are having the exact data about identity of a person. Now, the second thing which need to be done, that is the capturing the patterns and detail which these cyber criminals are doing with you, right? So even we can have that system, either a additional app or maybe even iOS can be provide those services, whereby the moment you declare it is a suspicious communication, the backend engine will start recording it. So audio, video, everything would be recorded, right? And while doing so, we should be on a speaker kind of mode, so that we can see screen. The backend AI can, whenever they are trying to get OTP, etc., backend engine will generate a fictitious OTP, right? You can communicate and have the multiple communication with these fraudsters, right? Each thing will be having a infallible proofs, because everything, the moment your communication is completing, it will be encrypted, it will be logged with the date, time and location, and would be logged with the hash value. So, despite the fact many manipulative technologies are now available, including deep fake, but since the data has been logged with the date, time and location, that the data will, this whole thing or this evidence will become infallible. It cannot be manipulated, right? And it can be very easily proven. Now, whosoever is committing crime, there is a stages of the crime. Number one, when you are attempting a crime. So how the crime is attempted? When we send a fraudulent link, we send a phishing link, we send or we sometimes talk to the person, so a voice call may be there, or a email could be there. So these are the 3-4 ways how we commit the cyber crime, right? Irrespective of the issue they are exploiting for committing cyber crime. So sometimes issue may be insurance, sometimes issue may be KYC, sometimes it may be corona vaccination. So the issue whichever is relevant and current, that issue will be used by this fraudster, right? But whatever the core issue for which they are in position to get the NIC details from you, and they are in position to cheat you, that would be maybe variable, but these processes are there, right? So now you are having the detail about the identity of the criminal. You are having the exact detail and proof about their attempt. So, and each attempt in the eyes of the law is a crime. It is our weak arrangement, weak institutional arrangement, and our whole policing is based on avoiding registration rather than taking cognizance, right? So this cognizance business, it is creating the problem. Otherwise, so that crime-free Bharat strategy of getting your FIR registered automatically, now that can be very efficiently used, right? Now the backend engine which has already collected evidence, that is also there. And now we can even have the third engine, that is using the crime-free Bharat volunteers or Urja Kendra for collection of the further evidences which are not so far collected, right? Which we expect from the police to do the job. Fortunately, our law provides that each citizen of India is also a police officer. Now, this fact has been hidden from the majority of the people. Nobody took the serious attempt to inform public they are the police officer. And they are duly protected by the law. Say, these lyncher or the people, those who are committing genocide on the road, do you know each one of us are having the right to the self-defense, which can extend to even causing death of a person for saving our own lives, for saving our own property, or saving lives of the other or the property of the others, right? So whenever genocide is happening or anything negative happening or when a public property is being destroyed, each one of us, each citizen is having the legal right of the self-defense which extend to even cause death of the person who is doing this. Cause death. Are you getting my point? Now,
yes, sir.
Now there could be very calibrated, effective and matching response on the ground. So our volunteers of the different types, they can be who are physically fit, those who are, so different level of the threat could be identified and could be graded, and these people can be given the commensurate training. They could be given arms also. And whenever they are providing their services, they will be given heavy revenue stream, fully justifying the risk they are taking, right? So, little less risk will be having little lesser revenue stream, higher risk will have the higher revenue, and extreme risk will take the extreme revenue, right? And whether it is in collection of evidence or whether it is in arresting or whether it is in giving that evidence in a trial, everybody, whosoever is connected with the crime-free Bharat, should be allowed to have full compensation, right? Now you will say from where the money will come, right? So each crime we should have the two component. One is the corporal component, that is the imprisonment. And second is the financial component, that is called fine. This fine should be not 500 rupees or 1000 rupees. It should be something like sum total of the revenue stream given to the different players multiplied by the two, right? It means the revenue stream which has been distributed, that will go to the concerned person, and equal amount would be available to the government for the development. And from crime-free Bharat alone, we can create tax-free Bharat. And having 10 times more revenue than what we are having at the moment. But our politicians, they themselves are the criminal. They want to make use of the criminality in getting riches. They are not interested in creating such kind of the system. That's why basically it is not only creating the technological model, because with the kind of Smart India, Hackathon, etc., these models could be created very competitively within 3 to 6 months, because you are not talking something very rocket science. You are talking sheer common sense, which every child can do, right? So now the bigger game could be having a concept. The smaller game could be getting it done, making use of the educational institution, making use of the Smart India Hackathon, and then involving the corporate people, those who can help in synthesizing the knowledge which maybe have been created in different discrete Smart India Hackathon. Because ultimately the knowledge which or the system or tools which we have created, they need to be integrated to serve as a digital Chitragupta. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Now, whether this thing is doable in India or not, nothing is doable in India unless the lawmakers are having that kind of the mindset. You see the debate in parliament, it is always in favor of the criminals. Even the judiciary, somewhere they are on the side of the criminals for their own conduct, because they feel they are also getting a lot of money. If that will come under one link, and if that could be compiled, then it will be multiple than what kind of the salary or what kind of the income they are getting from the non-sources. So, in the name of the privacy, we intellectuals, we bloody fraudsters, including judiciary, in order to hide their own crime, they are जो है ना trying to जो है ना come out with this kind of the judgment. These kind of the judgment are not in the interest of the society. Even God is, who is God? Who is omniscient and omnipresent. ईश्वर वह है जो हर जगह विद्यमान है, हर कण में विद्यमान है और उसे हर चीज की जानकारी है. हमारा वेद कहता है कि ये जानकारी एक चित्रगुप्त के माध्यम से गॉड मेंटेन करता है, राइट. एंड वो जो भगवान का चित्रगुप्त है, ही नेवर वायलेट योर प्राइवेसी. Whatever that video clips of whole universe has been compiled by the Chitragupt of the God is only shown to you, not to your neighbors, not to your wife, not to your family members, or not with the government, right? We can have the similar kind of the guarantee to the privacy, but guarantee of the privacy should not be to the criminals, right? The system itself should lodge FIR. System should help in investigation, and all criminals, the moment they are crossing Lakshman Rekha, they should be behind the bar. That kind of the effective system is the need of our. आपके जो लोग हैं, आपको ये मालूम ही होगा, I presume that you know that out of 405 seats which are there in Uttar Pradesh Legislative Assembly, 205 MLAs, they are the person of the criminal record. So it has already crossed the benchmark of the 50%. Now they are 51%. So 51% criminals would be deciding the fate of the UPNs. It is very unfortunate, Mr. Harish, that when you even want to become a smallest peon in the system, you have to be educated, you have to the person of the good moral character. Then why the people, those who are the lawmaker, they should be illiterate and should be criminals. Now for them, how to win, how to capture power is the only priority. Now as an Indian citizen, can we make a difference, or we will keep on shouting, we will keep on creating awareness, and now that awareness also being created by these people for creating hatred. There may be very genuine reason. There have been lot many conspiracy which Congress and other people they have done. They have enacted the law which is unconstitutional in violation of the fundamental rights. They have discreetly favored few against without taking care of the majority. It is a pitiable situation when we are basically the majority population is begging for the uniform civil code. It will not happen anywhere. These buggers could create nasty law like Waqf Board. These people could create the nasty discrimination against the fundamental right about the Minority Commission, Minority Act, against something like Worship Places Act of 1991, which is a slap on the Mother India. Because you were not capable of defending yourself, because you had forgotten your Vedic culture. हमारे वैदिक कल्चर में युद्ध कला सिखाई जाती थी, राइट? यदि नालंदा के लोग, गुरु लोग, यदि अपने शिष्यों को वो युद्ध कला में माहिर किए होते, तो एक दो चार रफियंस वहां से आके आपको सिटिंग डक जैसे बूचर नहीं कर पाते. ये जो है अत्यंत ही शर्मिंदगी की बात है कि एक बार नहीं सैकड़ों बार लोग आए, उन्होंने आपकी हत्याएं की, उन्होंने आपकी महिलाओं के साथ बलात्कार किया, यहाँ से महिलाओं को ले जाकर उन्होंने 2-2 दिनारों में बेचा. ये साक्ष्य अवेलेबल हैं, ऐसे स्तंभ लगे हुए हैं कि यहाँ भारतीय महिलाएं 2 दिनारों में बेची जाती हैं. इज इट नॉट वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट ऑन अस? हम इंटेलेक्चुअल्स लोग जो है कितने फ्रॉड हैं कि हम देश हित की बात नहीं कर पाते हैं. आर वी रियली इंटेलेक्चुअल्स? आर वी रियली नेशनलिस्ट? Are we really patriotic? Or we are serving the end of these bloody ruffian politicians who themselves are the criminals? They are having only one religion, how to capture power and how to remain in power. Do you agree with me, Mr. Harish?
sir.
Then what is the way out? How do you feel that concept which we have come out with the Urja Kendra is a powerful concept which is very akin to doing a tapasya of the Vedic period, whereby we will be in position to energize our fellow citizens, and that combined power of all energy centers would be good enough to take care of all these ruffians, all these Asuri Shaktis, all these Dushta Shaktiya. Have you understood the concept of the energy center?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you created your own group, which is very mandatory, that CrimeFreeBharat CFB Urja Samuh या Energy Center, Mr. Harish, ब्रैकेट में हरीश भी लिखना है. Have you done that?
Not yet.
I think being Vice President, it was your duty to really do it little faster, because we must set our own example, right? If you see, I am having energy center group, right? And to whomsoever I am talking, I am adding them into the group, right? And anybody else other than me, he has to add me and the person through whom he has energized, got energy, right? And then he will become the third person. And the moment he give the energy to the person, he would be adding that person and creating a group for that person also. If required, that WhatsApp group or Telegram group could be created on the spot along with the sankalp. Because once that is done, and see the beauty, say you are not doing any favor to anybody by becoming energy center, because you are not giving anything to anybody. Rather, you are getting benefited because your negativity will vanish. You will not be helpless and helpless. Probably you will feel combined energy, and probably by employing technology, even in between 2022 to 2024, probably extreme injustice could be exposed and could be even faced also with this system also, right? For that we can have some technology, something like which we had done as a DG plus reform for really what I had done. I had mapped all our civil defense volunteers, those who were trained in different kind of the disasters. Now, depending on our assessment, we could that system was in position to identify the people those who are located. Then it was doing one more thing. Depending upon the previous response, it was multiplying a factor also. So last time यदि आपने 500 के लिए कहा और 200 आए हैं, तो 500 by 200 will become a multiplication factor, right? So if you want 1000, so 1000 into 500 divided by 200 will be the number which will be requisition, that will be 2500, presuming the behavior will be the same, right? As we will proceed, the behavior may change. Accordingly, dynamically, that multiplication factor will be keep on changing. And now you imagine a situation that your energy centers, as per your requirement, whether you want 50 over there or 100 over there or 5,000 over there or 50,000 over there, if these number of the people along with their app will be reaching on the spot, I don't think anybody on earth can really continue with the kind of the injustice or kind of with the criminal activity, because all of them, they will be recording it, and then it will be encrypted with the date, time and location, and logged with the hash value, and will go in the cloud space. And that can be used against the person who is committing crime or atrocities at large. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
So now it is a question that whether we come out with the full-fledged model to make it happen, because other people, those who are busy, sometimes some of them may be busy at the base of the power, people in power, right? In creating awareness, in the name of awareness, they are creating vote bank. In the name of awareness, that vote bank is being used by these people without really intending to do the nice work. I am of the strong opinion, Congress and thereafter, Nehru and thereafter, whosoever done whatever they have done, at that moment of the time, they were our elected representative. And whatever they have done by sitting in the parliament. Now, Mr. Narendra Modi is our elected representative. He is the person who is chosen and he is the Prime Minister of the country. Now it is his duty rather than unnecessary creating fear to eliminate everything wrong which has been done so far. Now he is having the majority and now it is doable. Then we should change law. We should change that, bring the accountability in our system, and we must make it doubly and triply sure that nobody should be lord in the system. Neither the police, nor bureaucracy, nor judiciary. Nobody should be lord. Police is having to function to do. If they fail to do it, there could be, they should be made to suffer administratively, legally, and there could be a financial compensation component also. By not doing his functional part, he has already caused irreparable damage to the victim. So why these people should not be made to suffer? Judiciary is there to do justice. If all the facts on the record, still if they are giving wrong judgment, there should be an appeal on that. Do you agree with me?
Okay.
So even the judiciary could be made to suffer, could be made to be accountable, and if by ignoring the facts and evidence on the record, if they willfully give the wrong judgment, then this should be a disqualification. This should be a disqualification. And probably there should be some component of compensation should also flow. At the moment, whether it is a police, whether it is a bureaucracy, whether it is judiciary, all are lords. And we people, we are just nothing more than a गुलाम. हम लोग वोट देने वाले गुलाम हैं. ये भारत की तस्वीर और तकदीर, ये दुष्ट आसुरी शक्तियां, जिनमें से आधे से ज्यादा अपराधी हैं, और ये अपराधियों को ही आगे बढ़ाएंगी. यदि हम लोग नहीं चाहते तो जो 2024 का पार्लियामेंट बनेगा उसमें 50% से ज्यादा अपराधी आपराधिक रिकॉर्ड के होंगे. आपके ये भाग्यदाता विधाता, आपके कानून के निर्माता अपराधी होंगे. हमें क्यों लज्जा नहीं आती है इन्हें अपना रिप्रेजेंटेटिव बनाते हुए? Why when that every citizen of India is a police officer legally, why we should not bring that element of the compensation and things like that, bringing the revenue stream and making it sure on the ground that FIR is registered without going to Thana. Offenses are investigated within 15 days with the help of the crime-free Bharat model within 15 days, and justice is administered within 1 month, making use of the distributed video-based trial. And then finally, with the help of digital Chitragupt, committing an offense should not be an option through smart intervention and preventive strategies. And finally, when we know all the things in 360 degree about all the criminals, then it is not prudent to allow them to continue as criminals. I fully appreciate that these criminals are making a lot of money. They will not like to be rehabilitated if they are having the crime, committing crime is an option. Hence, we are having no other option but to foreclose their option. So, Crime-Free Bharat first to fourth strategy will make it sure that they will not be having the crime as a option. But in some case, if they could commit, that will be promptly registered, that will be promptly investigated within 15 days, and justice is granted within 1 month. That kind of the dynamic system could be brought in, which present judiciary would not like. So, it is not question of the judiciary, it is not question of the bureaucracy, it is not question of the police, it is not the question of this bloody ruffian politician. It is the question of the citizen of this country. I think they are having the right to have everything with certainty. Do you agree with me, Mr. Harish?
Yes, sir.
Then the only way out to make it happen is the energy center concept, which is you are not really doing any favor to anybody. Rather, you are getting benefited because your negativity will vanish. Your sense of helplessness will vanish. And then you are talking to the people, those who are in your network. You could not speak to them for long because you might be busy with your own business activities. Through this, we are making the sincere 3 list. This will give us opportunity to talk, or not a selfish talk, but a beneficial talk with our old accountees. And those accountees can be converted into the energy center. We must be fully conscious that there may be few people with the bad experiences. They are just like a stone. And since they are not made of iron, probably energizing them in beginning would be a difficulty. There will be a difficulty. So, we can energize them when there will be multiple bombarding from all nook and corner. And these, even stone will turn a big energy center in time to come. With these energy centers, we will be in position to, with our technology, we will be in position to check greater atrocities even in between 2022 to 2024. And if these workers are not amenable to our prayer, if these workers are not amenable to our compulsion, which we will try to compel them, then we will be having no other option to come down as a political party, and from our energy centers, we will be identifying, between 2022 to 2024, we will identify Maha Urja Kendra, and then they will be launched as a member of parliament candidate, and they will be winning without any canvassing through our own energy centers, which I presume would be more than 100 crores. Now it is the whole thing that in the whole process, we are not talking to any new person. We are talking to the people, those who are connected and those who are part of our network, those who are friends, kith and kin. And this concept gives us the opportunity to take out some time and talk to them. So it will be energizing our whole network also. And in the process, we will be creating these energy centers. And with the combined power of the energy centers, these आसुरी शक्तिज, ये दुष्ट लोग जो कि आधे अपराधी भी हैं, उन्हें या तो बदलना होगा या तो सुधरना होगा, और उन्हें पार्लियामेंट के मंदिर में बैठ के उन सभी कानूनों को, घृणित कानूनों को खत्म करना होगा, अच्छे नए कानूनों को बनाना होगा, जिसके माध्यम से वी कैन थिंक ऑफ हैविंग party-less democracy. We can have criminals-free politics. We can have expenditure-free election arrangement. We can have cybercrime and crime-free Bharat. We can have paper currency-free Bharat. And finally, we can have the tax-free Bharat. This is the one part. And the second part, then we will go that chemical or poison-free agriculture. And we will have that chemical-free lifestyle, which will convert our sewage into a great resource. India would be not only a wealthy country, but it will be a healthy country where every citizen would have the opportunity to manifest to the fullest potential possible. So each one of us, especially the learned people, and basically everyone has to be taken, even illiterate has to be taken. Because the person who is enjoying little higher status, we all little selfish people also. So the people, those who are more simple blazers, may not be even capable of reading and writing. Even those people, they are having the better values, and they could be a better energy centers. And since everybody is connected with somebody, so बूंद बूंद से सागर भरता है. हमें जो है कुछ करोड़ और 100 करोड़ ऊर्जा सेंटर में पहुंचने के लिए मुश्किल से 1 महीने का समय लगेगा, यदि हम सभी लोग जो है संकल्पित ढंग से, डिटरमिन ढंग से, जो भी हमने टाइम इसके लिए ईयर मार्क किया है, यदि हम प्रतिदिन 1 घंटे, आधा घंटे, 2 घंटे, जो भी समय हम जो है संकल्पित करते हैं, डिटरमिन करते हैं, जो हम इसके लिए एग्री करते हैं, यदि हम ईमानदारी से वो काम करेंगे तो हम 1 महीने में 100 करोड़ के ऊपर पहुंच पाएंगे. फिर हम इन आसुरी शक्तियों को, उन सब जो है ना व्यवस्थाओं को जो षड्यंत्र पूर्वक 1947 से लेके 2022 तक बनाई हैं, उनको हम जो है रिपील कर पाएंगे, बदल पाएंगे, संशोधित कर पाएंगे. जो मुख्यमंत्री, चीफ मिनिस्टर, those who have come in power through this constitution, they cannot use the constitution selectively. The same constitution has given them the responsibility as per the schedule 7 list 2. This constitution is also having the provision of the constitutional failure of machinery. So if the people, rogue people, they have wrongly risen to that position of the chief minister, those governments should be made to fall, made to be dismissed under Article 356. But for making that to happen, we have to have the governor of the right character. The West Bengal governor, he is all the time beeping in media. Why he is not relying on his own pen? He is supposed to give a report to the President of India every month. President in turn can send that report to cabinet, and cabinet may approve it and should pave the way for falling of West Bengal government. West Bengal is doing blaring activity, should fall first, and then other states should also follow, those who are not really consistent with the or not discharging their responsibility as per the constitutional provision. Do you agree with me?
हाँ सर.
तो फिर आपका जो है एनर्जी सेंटर बनाइए माननीय हरीश जी, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ क्राइम फ्री भारत.
Sure, sir. Sir, and one more thing. Sometime tonight by 9:30 somewhere, can we have a meeting?
Certainly, we will have a meeting, and whatever we should speak, I very sincerely feel it should go in public arena, because we are not afraid of anybody else will be copying it, right? Because if anybody else will be copying, he will help us to in creating right kind of ecosystem. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Right? So it is very easy, basically. So basically, even if somebody is copying our ideas, we are not here to have the Copyright Act for that, right? We do not want the intellectual property right for that. But let the country be benefited. We are not selfish lot. We are patriotic lot. We want to make a difference in this country. Do you agree with me? So,
yes, sir.
I hereby give my consent to have a meeting at 9:30 tonight, right? And we will be deliberating whatever the issues you want. But I sincerely pray that Nitin and everybody kindly make few centers, those who can help in converting my views, my things, doing little dubbing, so that these views are available and the language should not be barrier for anybody. Right? Because even the rural population, which they may not be knowing other languages, it should be easily available to them. So that is very easy if we can create one center in the states speaking different language. And in any case, there is no harm in having a team where you have things could be created, some documentary could be made. So whatever views we are saying, those views could be converted into the documentary format, which will be easily understood by everyone. Right? Do you agree with me?
Sir.
So can we really do that a little fast?
Yes, sir. Today, by 9:30, I'll just have a word with other people. So by 9:30, shall we have a meeting?
Sure.
Sure, sir.
Okay. And it should be recorded, and it should be, rather I can send a link so people can join on that. How many people would be there?
I'll speak to Manish, Sumit, and whoever is, and Bhupechi, and other internship team.
Yeah, basically one small boy, his name is Dhruv. He is basically a blazer, but extremely good in technology.
Oh, wonderful. What is his name?
He is hardly 18 years of age. He created many apps, many technology, many things. So he is a gifted child.
Oh.
He is from a village. He may not be in position to speak in a very fine language, but that does not really make a difference. We need people like that who can committed. His father is also connected with us. His father is also a poor villager, and he is committed to the philosophy of crime-free Bharat. And he has committed to the make himself as a energy center also. And every day he is connecting somebody to me also. So he is doing a good job. Since he is not in position to effectively communicate and give energy, so generally he is taking my help to energize the people he is contacting.
Okay.
So I feel that we will be failing in our duty if we will not do it. And especially I feel that all retired person, all senior citizens, they are having enough time, and all the students, all the youth, and then whosoever is doing whatever they are doing, whether they are doing social service, and even if they are neta, even neta could be our energy centers, because all netas are not bad, number one. Number two, they are the deprived class also, because they are being used by their own party and they are thrown to dustbin. Despite the fact they are doing your service for the many years, sometimes 20 years, 30 years, but the kith and kin of these leaders, they are getting the priority, they are getting tickets, and they are getting becoming ministers, ignoring the workers on the ground. So the workers association, NGOs, the sanction, we must methodologically approach them. Whosoever you know, they continue with their work. We are not saying you leave your work. In addition, you become energy center and energize the people, and we collectively will identify the Maha User Center, which if these workers are not really compelled and they are not falling in line, then we are having no other way, because this country can only be improved by enacting laws, by improving the functionality. We are improving the machinery, whether it's a judiciary, whether it is a police, or whether it is a bureaucracy, or even whether it is a politicians also. So ultimately, we have to make a difference in our mechanism. We have to make a difference by bringing right kind of the legislation. We have to make a difference by bringing transparency, accountability in our system, and nobody should be lord. Only the people should be, everywhere should be the focus of attention, and all Indians, they should get the opportunity to flourish to the potential they are having, or they are endowed by the God. Right? So, I sincerely suggest that we must really make it happen. We must really make it happen. Right? And since you are in the south, please help us in spreading and creating a good network everywhere. And we will be making necessary preparation for party, because political party, even if we have to in a compulsive mode, we have to go finally to fight election. So the formality should be completed. Though we will only be launching any candidate if these Vagar fails to comply with our wishes. Then there is no other way out but to defeat them in their own game, in the same election process, without resorting to the canvassing, because when we will be having our so many energy centers, each energy center is a voter also. So we need not to do any canvassing. Rather, they will be already striving for those changes, and certainly our Maha Urja Kendra would be in position to win or rather defeat these people. And many of these ruffians, they will be losing their security also. अधिकांश लोगों की जमानतें जब्त होंगी यदि हम जो है पूरी एनर्जी के साथ लगेंगे, और हम जो कुछ भी कर रहे हैं हम संकल्पित पीरियड को रोज जरूर लगाएंगे। ये प्लेस तो हमें लेना ही होगी, और हमें इस तरीके के जो है व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बनाना होंगे, जिससे मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बढ़ेगा कि इतने लोग ऑलरेडी जुड़ चुके हैं। दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। एंड सिंस आई फील दैट व्हाट्सएप इज बीइंग मैनिपुलेटेड, I really request you that we should go for the Telegram. Telegram, I always feel is a... WhatsApp में manipulation हो रहा है सर? हाँ, हो रहा है 200% हो रहा है। Since they have bought the technology, so वो they are doing the manipulation. I know it. I know for certain. Something is happening with the YouTube also. But anyway, it does not make a difference to us, because that feels that इंद्र का सिंहासन हिल रहा है. It means our vibration, our energy is making some difference on the ground. यदि हम इसको और चैनलाइज करके और सिस्टमेटिकली चलेंगे. अच्छा ये बताइए, डू यू फाइंड एनी फॉल्ट विथ माई फिलॉसफी, विथ माई स्ट्रेटेजी? वुड यू लाइक टू सजेस्ट सम चेंजेस इन दैट?
I don't know, nothing, sir.
Okay, so it means we are also जो है ना synchronized. And probably this is the only way, and this is the Vedic way also. Because in past, whenever these evil spirits, they acquired the power and they were committing atrocities, it is the only through the tapasya our people got that astra, shastra and vardhan, and making use of these things, they could win over these evil spirits, evil powers. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So, chaliye, we had a very nice talk. I feel this energy will be helping, especially to the English-speaking people, because majority of my communication, they were in Hindi. I deliberately, this time, when I thought I should speak in English, so that the people, those who find it difficult to understand Hindi, for them, it may be a very meaningful communication.
Correct. True.
So we can have a few similar sessions from the other people like Nitin, so that and that can be in English, so that English people, the people those who are not that comfortable in Hindi, they should not be at a disadvantage. Number one. Number two, we must create the language centers in all states, right? And making use of our own people like Dr. Prasad, right, like Nitin and other people. I think they can help us in creating those language centers where the dubbing and this kind of the things can also be possible. So the face may be mine, but voice may be of someone else. Right? That will increase our reach to the local population. Those who are not as comfortable, they may not be understanding Hindi at all. They may not be understanding English at all. Hence, this language centers, language interpretation center, language dubbing centers it is the great necessity for the country of the size and language variation of our magnitude. Right?
Yes, sir.
So should we close our conversation of the day, and we will be meeting tonight at 9:30?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
It is great talking to you, and I feel this energy will be helpful in energizing our friends, our fellow citizens, and I once again appeal, please join this great endeavor. We will make a difference despite these ruffians who are called politicians. They are there just to anyhow make themselves or remain in power. They have nothing to do or nothing better for the country, and they are very selectively doing whatever beneficial to them. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Vande Matram.